In this video, we are going to see what is testing, why do we need this, and we will be able to write our first test. The first question is, why do we need testing? So there can be many other reasons, but I have just listed 3 of them that I found was important. The first is to identify errors and risk. Second is to speed up our workflow. And third is it helps us to ensure that the existing code is not breaking while adding new features. And I feel this is the most important feature is like when we are adding a new feature, we don't test our old feature that we have already added, and there can be a chance where we can break older feature by adding something new. So writing an automated test can help us ensure that the old feature is not breaking. We will understand about these 3 reasons even better when we write our first code. But before writing test, let's try to understand what is a test. A test is a code that throws an error when the result we get doesn't match with the expected result. So let's try to understand that line here by understanding this. So here we have a function called add and we have another function called subtract. Let's go ahead and call this function add with 2 values 2 and 4. Whatever we'll get as return is going to be the actual return value and we are going to store it into result. So this is the actual result that we'll get from the function. What is the expected result? So for that, I'll go ahead and define a variable called expected, and that will be 2 plus 4 should be 6. Here we can see the result we'll get while calling this function add, and the expected is 6. So whenever result and expected doesn't match, we need to throw an error. And how can we do that? So we'll go ahead and write a if statement that says result is not equal to expected. If that is the case, you need to throw a new error. And the error message should say result is not equal to expected. Let's run this code and see what is happening. Here we are not seeing any error because obviously 2 plus 4 is going to be 6. But what if we change it to 5 and refresh it, and here we'll see an error that says 6 is not equal to 5. So in this way, we have written our first test. What if we want to test the next function, that is subtract? So for that, we can just go ahead and say result should be whenever you call the function subtract with 2 values 20 and 4. The expected is going to change the value to, it should be 16, but let's write 15 so we can just see the error. Here we'll just copy paste this whole code. And now if we refresh it, we'll see the first error itself because the error is being thrown here and execution stops. So I'll just go past this test and refresh it, and here you can see 16 is not equal to 15. So in this way, we can see that we have written 2 tests where the first one is passing and second one is failing, and that's why we see an error message. So as we have seen the definition of a test, so a test is code that throws an error when the result we get doesn't match with the expected one. So here whenever expected and result doesn't match, it will throw an error. We'll go a bit more deep into writing multiple tests and how we can run multiple tests at the same time in our next videos.